Hello, YouTube. Ziggy now back with another video. This video I wanted to make for new and old, whether you're new to the hobby or have been around a while. I want to share with you what I refer to as Ziggy's 10 theories for sports cards. Now, these are theories because with what's going on in the sports card world, the rules have all been broken. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But I still think there's a lot of good facts and evidence to support these theories, and why you should be paying attention to them is very important, whether you're a collector or an investor to the hobby. So rule number one is the golden rule, right? It applies across life. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Whether you're selling, buying, shipping, or trading, think about how you'd want to feel if you spent, say, $100 on a card and you're waiting for it to be shipped, and then when you get it, you want to receive that card in good order. Right? So if you're selling, be proactive. Let the buyer know, well, that you sent the package, right? On eBay, it does it automatically. They get a copy of the tracking. If you're selling on Facebook or Instagram, send the buyer a message, letting them know you shipped the item the next day. Give them tracking information if possible. Package it up really nicely, the way you'd want to be packaged. So there's no damage. You don't have to worry about any returns, right? Again, treat people the way you want to be treated. And that is very important in this hobby. You're going to run into a lot of nice people. People are willing to help you if you treat them the way you want to be treated yourself. Rule number two, hobby advice, which is exactly what I'm giving you right now. I think the most important thing people should take in consideration, whether you're listening to me or one of these guys pitching you the top 5 cards to buy, or a guy telling you how to flip cards, is remember, and this is a quote, advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. That is so true. I know I give advice often on things that I learned through my own poor experiences, right? Example, I bought Kareem Hunt, football running back, in his rookie year, and we know what happened to Kareem. So I don't buy running backs anymore. Rule number 3. Check Topps and Panini's websites regularly. If you're looking for advice, go to the source. Hit their blogs. Search for them on Twitter and YouTube. Some of these guys will answer your questions. You want to be the first to know about the next Topps project, right? Where people killed it on this Topps 2020? You got to be checking the Topps website. Breakers in your local card store are not going to tell you about products that they're not making money on, okay? You want to know about Prism update cards and the Kendrick Nunn Prism card? Well, that's coming out in Chronicles, but you're not going to know that if you didn't read the Panini website or talk to somebody who did. So always do your research. Rule number 4, whether you're collecting or investing, you should know what your exit strategy is when you make a purchase, right? I'm purchasing this box of cards. If I get a Zion, he's going in my PC. I'm selling everything else, right? Or I'm buying this box of cards. My PC is Curry. If I get a Zion, I'm selling them for $50, right? Have an exit strategy. Have a plan. You should know what your exit price is before you buy something. And the reason I say this is the best story I hear in the hobby is, oh, I bought a card at $500 and I held it too long and I lost money on it. Well, you held it too long because you didn't do your research, or you didn't have an exit strategy. If your exit strategy said exit when it hits 10%, you exited too early, and that's why you took a loss. More importantly, though, you'll hear stories, well, oh, I had this card, I sold it for $50, now it's $1,000. I lost out. Well, you didn't if you bought the card for $5 and you sold for $50. That was your exit plan, and you made some money. Be happy with it. Don't kick yourself for taking a profit, right? Having an exit strategy will prevent yourself from punishing yourself later on, going, oh, I should have held this card, or I should have bought this project, or whatever it might be. Know what you're buying and what your plan is when you get out. And I will say it's fair to adjust this exit strategy. Go back to my analogy. I buy a box of Prism. If I get Zion rookie cards, I'm going to sell them for $50. Oh, I go on eBay and they're going for more than 50. Well, obviously I'm going to adjust my exit strategy. Maybe I want 150 now, right? So it's fair to adjust, but you should, in your mind, know what you're buying and what your plan is with it. Too many people buy emotionally and sell emotionally in the hobby. Number 5, don't chase second-year players cards. Now, this to me used to be a rule. Now, I will say there's a lot of people in the flipping world who will talk about they make money going after second-year cards, and they do. And the reason is because people buy them. I don't understand why they buy them, but I think a lot of them think that that player is going to be the next Jordan or the next Trout, or the next Brady. Because if you look at what happened in Trout and Brady's, people do buy the second year, third year cards because they're old. They're Hall of Fame potential players are likely pretty much locks for the Hall of Fame in their areas. And those cards are often more scarce because the rookie cards are hard to get. But this is not common. If you pull a second year Luka, I'm not willing to call Luka a 20-year Hall of Famer. I'm going to sell a second year card. You know, shame on me down the road if I look back and go, that was a mistake, but I bet you I made profit on selling it. Now, my point here is I'm not saying don't buy, or don't dabble in second year. You get one, flip it, sell it. I'm just telling you, don't chase them. Don't go off hoarding Luka 1920 silver prisms and thinking you're making a ton of money. I think you're tying up a lot of funds in a long hold card. Rule number 6, don't buy vets, with some exception. Now, I will say again, when I got in the hobby about 6 years ago, I was doing a lot of breaks, and this was just a rule. Breakers didn't ship you vets, and it wasn't because they were trying to store them up because there was any value. There just simply was no value in vets. No one cared. I can't tell you how many LeBron James, cards I gave away or dumped in past years. Now, I will say there's exceptions now because of this change in the hobby, where everybody thinks, the Trout, LeBron, Brady, because it's his first time he wore a jersey with the optic logo, whatever it might be, they have some rationalization. I still personally believe don't buy vets, with exceptions. The Trouts, the LeBrons, the Bradys. And even those, I'll be honest, I grade and sell those. Number 7, of all the sports, every sport's emotional, but in my opinion, no sport is more emotional than American football, okay? Personally, I think collecting or investing in football has too many emotional fans, right? But it's also why it's so attractive for flippers, right? What I mean by that is I can buy rookie quarterbacks right now, watch the season, and buy and sell those rookie quarterbacks all season long. Now, personally, I would not hold any football long as an investor, long as in more than 1 or 2 years. Now, I'll be honest, I sold the Patrick Mahomes NT RPA for $1,100 when I had the card. It was a year he wasn't playing. I know the card's worth a lot more money, but I only paid $100 to get that card. So I made $1,000. I'm not kicking myself. I will still continue to execute on that same strategy with football. You will make more money selling short than you will holding long. Remember, football is emotional. Number 8, this is a great tip, and I picked this one up a few years ago. Buy glass cards or redemptions. And I'm referring to the Absolute brand by Panini. They make a football Absolute and basketball Absolute. Often, I believe there's one glass card per case. So you'll see these flood the market. I believe all glass cards are redemptions. So when products like Absolute come out, you'll see the redemptions online, buy the redemptions up. And then I redeem them. They often fill quickly because they're not waiting on an autograph for the card to be made. They're just manufacturing the glass and they don't want to ship in the product. So you get them relatively fast and they grade very well. Every glass card I have graded has come out BGS pristine. I have not had any black labels, but I've seen black label glass cards. And all of mine have been, like I said, pristine 10s. I've never used PSA or SGC. I don't think they even grade glass. I might be wrong. But glass, BGC, get it, do it. Great tip. Number 9, liquidity is a dirty word. Well, we're all spending money buying these cards. We're all getting in it, and we see the eBay, comps, and people making money on eBay. But let me explain to you, it's a lot harder to sell cards and get that cash out than it is to buy cards, right? Let's say I have a collection worth $10,000 of Zion Williams cards, right? A little hotter, so maybe they'll sell a little faster, but it's going to take me time to sell those 10,000 cards, whether it's eBay or Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like I can go into a brokerage house tomorrow or a bank and liquidate my shares of stock and get cash immediately. That can be a challenge. It is, and I think people think that this market's a lot more liquid than it is, especially new people to the hobby. They're buying these cards and I got a $500 card. Great, show me $500, because it's not $500 in cash. You've got to make that liquid. And I'll go back to rule number 1, the golden rule. The better you are at the golden rule about treating people well and with respect and the way you want to be treated, the more likely you're going to have buyers of your products and your cards, right? I typically, well, I'll be honest, I never sell anything at comp. I always sell, I normally always sell under comp. I take off the eBay fees because I want the buyer from me to be happy with the buy. And I also want him to have some upside, some meat on the bone, if you want to say, right? I'm happy if I sell a card for $1,000 and it goes to $2,000 because I made money and the guy who bought it from me made money, and he's probably going to come back. If I sell him a car for $1,000 and it goes down to $200, it's not my fault, but he's probably not as happy, right? So liquidity is a dirty word. A lot easier to put money into this hobby than it is to take it out. And last rule, number 10, and I think this is probably one of the most important, there are more losers than there are winners in this hobby. I'm going to say that again. More people lose money than make money in this hobby, okay? Part of the thing about this hobby is we get into it, we love it, and we collect, and we love the passion, and we chase the big hits, but we realize in order to keep that fire burning, we've got to put coal in the engine. And we get coal by selling some of the stuff that we have, right? And that's what makes us all a little collector, a little investor. There's very few people, and there are. I used to be one of those guys who never sold anything. For the first 2 years I was collecting in modern hobby, I didn't sell a single card. I collected everything. Then I got to the point where, man, I need to get some money out if I want to continue this. So remember, there are more losers than winners in this game. So be careful and be aware. Well, I hope you liked my sports card 10 theories. Again, they're not rules, but they're good theories, and they come with some good experience that I've gone through. I'm Ziggy Now. Please follow, subscribe, and comment. You can find me on Twitter with Ziggy Breaks. You can find me on Instagram at Ziggy Breaks. You can find me on Facebook with Ziggy No, YouTube at Ziggy No. I hope you had a great day. Stay healthy, and please come back for more.